A long time ago, there used to be a thing called records. Records were big and round. They were made out of vinyl, and you put them on a thing called a turntable. And then you took a little arm that had a needle on it. You put the needle on the record, and miraculously sound came out of it. Since CDs came out, we don't see records all that much anymore. And we no longer have a turntable because our son borrowed it, but that's okay. Even if we had a turntable, we probably wouldn't use it, but we still have all these records. And I was thinking about that the other day. I was wondering what kind of treasures there are still in our collection of records. I was going through it. We have, for example, Peter, Paul, and Mary. They look a lot different now when they do specials on PBS, but we have Peter, Paul, and Mary records. What's this? Donovan! Anybody remember Donovan? He was a real heartthrob in his day. I have a Donovan record. Mellow Yellow was his big hit. Other things in here, Epistle to Dippy, I don't remember at all. Jennifer Juniper, I remember. But the Hurdy-Gurdy Man, don't remember that one. The Kingston Trio, anybody who was collecting records in the 50s or the 60s had the Kingston Trio. That was kind of a requirement. I always really liked this one. It's a kid's record, but it's Gene Kelly reading all sorts of Christmas songs. Oh, apparently I got it on sale. Either I got it on sale or we tried to sell it at a garage sale. It's only 20 cents. You probably couldn't get that much for it now. Barbra Streisand. Now that's got to be a classic. I don't know if this is her first record or her second record, but it's either one or two. She's grown a bit since then. Of course, she actually looked like that at the time. I once saw Barbra Streisand at a concert in San Francisco, and she was the opening act for the Kingston Trio, and we were probably the only people who were there to see Barbra Streisand and not the Kingston Trio. Here's a great one. The Singing Nun, Dominique. Remember, you probably most remember her remember the song from Airplane. But yeah, I had to have a Singing Nun record. That was kind of cool. Soundtrack here, Jerry Lee Lewis. Now this was not my record, this was Walt's record, because he was a big rock and roll fan and I wasn't so much. But As Long as I Live, Hillbilly Music, Hello, Hello Baby, Great Balls of Fire, Cold, Cold Heart, Jerry Lee Lewis. And not the Lamplighters, but the Limelighters. The Limelighters sang There's a Meeting Here Tonight, Heading for the Hills, Romania, Romania, Madeira, Madeira. I don't know whatever happened to the Limelighters. They didn't seem to survive like the Lamplighters. Like the Kingston Trio did. See, I always had trouble with the Limelighters because I worked for a theater company in San Francisco called the Lamplighters, and so people were always getting them confused. But the Lamplighters did Gilbert and Sullivan, and the Limelighters did folk music. There were also a lot more Lamplighters than Limelighters. Ricky Nelson, look at that. You hear the dog in the background. Yes, Ricky Nelson. I wasn't really a big Ricky Nelson fan, but my sister-in-law was a huge Ricky Nelson fan. On this, he does Honeycomb, Bebop Baby, Your True Love. Yes, shame that he died so soon. Barry Manilow. I didn't even know I had a Barry Manilow record, but I do. Copacabana's on here, of course. No, what Barry Manilow record would be right without Copacabana? Yeah. I do have an Elvis record or two. I suspect these probably were Walt's because I wasn't into Elvis. But there he was in all his glory. And of course you can't go through the folk song generation without a Pete Seeger record. I don't know what he has on here. There's no list. Well, anyway, Pete Seeger, his Carnegie Hall concert, his historic Carnegie Hall concert. I don't know why I have this one. This is Red Simpson, the man behind the badge. I suspect I got this as some sort of a joke. Here we have, this is a good list of songs for you. Bad Man Highway Patrol, Under Arrest, Sheriff Sam, Sidewalk Patrol, Working for the Highway Patrol, Rules of the Road, I'm Turning in My Star, the Highway Patrol, 20 Years on Patrol, the City Police, and County Sheriff. Whatever happened to Red Simpson? Now, I know this is Barbra Streisand's third album because it says Barbra Streisand, the third album. This is what she was wearing the night I went to see her in concert. Yes, and who can forget Tiny Tim tiptoeing through the tulips. Tiny Tim. I saw his wedding on the Johnny Carson show. Really weird guy. And Andy Williams. See, I was really into the mellow stuff. And there's lots more. There are a couple of Beatles, a lot of original cast recordings. All of this down here is all classical music. Over there, that's the show stuff and Christmas music. There are also kids' records. This entire shelf up here, I don't know if the camera picks this up, but this entire shelf is Gilbert and Sullivan. Someday I should do something with all of this stuff, but I don't know what. I hate to get rid of it because, I mean, I've got history here, but I can't play it on anything. But it's fun to kind of go back and reminisce. I am working on getting as many CDs as I have records, and then I wonder what the next thing is going to be that replaces CDs. iTunes. Now I buy my music on iTunes.